What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Chopping It Up with Paul. My name is Paul Catton. Give this video a like, a comment, and subscribe to this channel, man. We really need subscribers. We need to take off some traction so I can bring you guys some live streams. I mean, today I'm bringing you a special treat. I've got an interview on my show today. And our topic for today was actually selected by the guest on my show. Let me introduce you to the man, the myth, the legend, Caesar.
What's up? What's up?
He brought me the idea of speaking about social awareness and its effect on the communities. And that is a great topic of conversation. In fact, it's something that needs to be discussed. So, without any more delay, let's get into today's episode. So, Caesar, when you think of social awareness, what do you think of as far as your definition of social awareness?
Social awareness. Shit. I think when we think of social awareness, we think of how everyone's opinions kind of influence the way everyone lives and makes decisions whenever going through life. So essentially, it's really in every decision we make on daily. Because when you think about when you're born, you're automatically born into a system that decides the country you're in, the language you're going to speak, the environment you're going to surround yourself with, the race that you're born in, whether you're poor or rich, all this is essentially influenced by that, and it leads to a lot of essentially of what you're going to experience your entire life. So it's pretty crazy that so many things have so much influence on your life.
Yes, I have to agree that it does have a lot to do with social awareness in your life, but it's also a choice and a decision made on whether or not you will fall into that category. You see where I'm going with that? Is, yeah, a lot of it plays somewhat of a factor into your direction and development.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like Ice Cube constantly states all the time, it's a mindset, it's an attitude that you carry.
Yeah.
And from personal experience myself, I surrounded myself by more positive people, and as a result, I started to think more positively. I started moving in more positive directions. Because, yeah, I feel you. When I was born a product in this society. But decisions and choices that I made put me over here in a whole different caste society of social awareness. Our social awareness was stay alive for another 24 hours, It was serious back then. I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. Man, it got crazy.
Yeah.
But I told myself from a young age, I will get out of this system of dwelling. I will become more than that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I fought and struggled to get out of it because I changed my mindset. Once you get your mind right, then you get your money right, then you get your life right.
Yeah.
And positively speaking, my social awareness has completely changed over 17 years. Because I'm also a member of the ex-convict community. I know about these things that are talked about when people talk about social being these days. But I also see the need for a positive change platform. People that are coming together to change these social awareness stereotypes.
Yeah.
Because it's a stereotype just like any other. It is formed and fashioned off a minute grain of truth. Maybe the size of a speck of sand.
Yeah.
it's up to us to educate the younger generation. I mean, I carry as much of the responsibility for the viewpoints in this generation as somebody, say, your age. And it really strikes me as rare in your age group to see somebody that views social awareness in that manner.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of kids are like, social awareness is what you surround yourself around, which is partially right. The circles you run around in. See, I see it as far more though.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you gotta step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
You gotta get out of that social comfort zone. Like, I grew up in the hood.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I must become comfortable with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and that'll be my whole life standing. I will never leave the hood.
Yeah.
You become a product of that. You become a statistic of that. But don't get me wrong. I've seen a lot of good people walk up out the hood in adversity and make something of themselves because of good, strong, solid moms that whooped them when they needed it, you know? That was their way of showing love. See, I came from that generation where getting punished was anything within reach, you know? That's a far thing of the past now. In fact, only select states can do it.
They can? I didn't even know there were some states that could.
Yes. I cannot mention them because I have not run it by the states yet to reveal their identities, but I think it's like 5 or 6 states. And they're in the southern region of the United States, so you do the math. Do the research. Yes. But anyway, a more positive take on social awareness would be, okay, being born into this circle of awareness and having gone through this stuff that put you on another level of awareness. Plus you're influenced with the awareness over here of the pop culture and the news and everything like that in a negative direction. Negative and positive never work. You know, they always detract each other. You'll know as a positive person what socio group you fit in on. You know, what social group will I best fit in with? And if you educate yourself a little bit, you know, yeah, it takes a little time of researching and looking into things. But see, as a kid, I had dictionaries, encyclopedias, and reference sources as regular reading material and books. So I'm very well read, but irrelevant of that factor, it took a complete total mindset change when I went the last time. And that was 17 years ago. I've not been in major trouble since then because I moved social circles. From a socio circle here of negativity, I bounced over here into a more positive society, more positive circle of society, so that I can be a force for good, a force for change, and maybe even change the mindset of a society that has been on negativity. Take a negative and turn it to a positive.
Yeah, I think a good way that people should look at it is that you should separate. Essentially what is like the reality that you live in from what it should be, you know. And what I mean by that is, you know, we're all human. You know, we're all the same. It's hard to look at it that way sometimes because, you know, some people, you know, experience very different realities, you know, whenever they're across the world from each other. So, you know, people got to be able to see themselves and others and realize that everyone is pretty much the same. Like, the only reason why we say people are more powerful, like the presidents or judges, is because we say they are. We all agree that they are this. And they're not. All they are is a policeman is just a man with a gun, and he can legally shoot at you. You know, like it's just because we say he can. So you got to be able to separate the reality, but at the same time you can't neglect it. You get me? Because you got to live life essentially abiding the rules, because everybody needs to make money, everybody needs to eat, everybody needs to have a home. These are things that we can't not have.
Right.
So at the same time, you need to play the game, but never forget that just because the world was a playground made for us by whatever it is that made it. And the only reason it is the way it is because humans decided to take it serious.
I agree. And a lot of it is influenced by popular culture. Because there's no glamorization in positivity. Just because you were born into this group, my southern upbringing taught me, never forget where you came from.
Exactly.
Yeah, I may be this little kid that grew up poorer than the other kids, but you know what? I didn't live bad. And then, as a teenage young adult, I moved out on my own, got involved in negativity, and allowed that world to continue to rule me until my 30s. Then I've totally changed categories again and started hanging around with more positive people. I got out of that negative mindset and went in a positive direction. You see, I completely changed who I was.
That's right.
By just one mindset change. But I remember, like, all those times that built me into the person I am today is these decision-making processes I had to go through.
Yeah, exactly.
As a young adult, and now I'm like 43 years old, and I'm out here trying to teach positivity to the next generation.
Yeah.
Because they don't hear much of that.
Yeah.
They hear the negative that goes on in the world, but how many people hear about positive events?
And I think the reason why people focus on negative events so much is because we seem to forget to appreciate the simple things. Because you live you live your life, and on a day-to-day basis, so many good things happen to you that you don't even appreciate. Even just having a conversation.
Yes.
Having a conversation, you can learn so much from it if you actually listen. And we seem to forget that. We seem to not appreciate the good things, but when the bad things happen, we can't let them go. We can't ignore them. We have to keep thinking about it, and I think the reason for that is because it's so much more uncommon. People don't realize how much more good there is in bad.
Yes.
That when the bad shows up, it's just all that they see.
Right.
So I think people just forget how good the world we live in really is.
Yes. It is designed for us to cohabitate.
Yeah.
That's the best word I can come up with for that, is cohabitate, because we have to share it. And if you grew up in a bad environment in your younger years, you seek another way out.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get over here and you drift off over. Your parents want you to go this way, but you drift off over here in a little side channel, and then an event happens in your life that drives you back onto the channel that your parents wanted you to go to, but you're way out here in your 30s and 40s, and you're changing everything, and you're living that life now. That's why one of my favorite things to say is, every day's a blessing for me. Every day I get up and put my feet on the ground, that's a blessing. Every day I'm able to walk, that's a blessing. Every day that I can feel the sunshine of God on my face, that's a blessing.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's taking that into a consciousness to myself personally to say, hey, this is how I'm going to succeed.
Yeah.
And this is how this movement and motivation, this positive movement that several of us there's a few of us YouTubers trying to do. And this is a fairly new program, guys, so come on, give me some traction here. Let's get those likes up. Let's get the views up.
Hell yeah.
Comment on it, and I'll bring another guest on.
Yeah.
Because I want to be out here to leave an impact on this world. That's what this channel is about.
That's right. This is the beginning of something big. Y'all gotta be.
It's a positive movement, so climb on board. Give me some views. Give me some likes, comments, and until next time, let's just stay positive out there, people.
Right.
Let's look at the world as our playground, as Caesar cleverly pointed out.
Yeah. Appreciate the little things.
And appreciate the little things. Be grateful for what you have.
Mm-hmm.
And until next time, stay positive. Peace.
Stop.